Today's 860th day that I'm here to listen to learn. I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about a topic that I truly do not understand fully, but really share the learnings that I'm gathering and really understanding more. And that is emotional home. And what that emotional home truly means. What are those feelings that feels like home? What are the emotions that feels comfortable for you? And I truly believe that every single person needs to look into really what emotions we go to when we feel uncomfortable. What is emotions that you really go back to and you feel that those emotions are familiar and comfortable? Now, knowing that there are some emotions feel comfortable, it might be that those emotions are negative. It might be that we need to change your emotional home. Because a lot of times when you're moving from one place to another place, even though that another place could be so much better, it might be that it feels uncomfortable. And you want to go back to your previous home, even though that previous home was not that good. Because previous place felt like home, felt familiar, felt comfortable, and you want to go back where you came from. Even though it might be that the place that you are in is much, much better. So moving is very difficult, including moving emotionally. So when I think about emotional home, what I learned that we need to really ask ourselves, what kind of feelings I had experienced majority of my life? Maybe from 1 to 5, is that like from 0 to 5, there's a lot of our emotional stability is built in that as well. So what kind of emotions you had from 0 to 5? What kind of emotions you had from 5 to 10? What kind of emotions you had from 10 to 15? From 15 to 20 years old, then from 20 to 25, then from 25 to 30. What kind of emotions you're able to see that, okay, from 0 to 5, this is emotion that I felt the most. This is from 5 to 10. Of course, you gather just does as much as you can. You will not remember all the emotions, but what are the main emotion that you felt from 0 to 5? Then from 5 to 10, then from 15 to 20. And you're supposed to start to see that pattern. Some kind of pattern that you used to feel the same emotion over and over and over again. And now the question is, do you like the emotions that you were experiencing over and over again? Because I found that a lot of times when life is going through struggles, when you go through setbacks, when you're going through good days, you will go back what you used to experience in the past. Those emotions that feel like home. So that means that when you start experiencing great things in life, and you start feeling totally different emotions, and you day after day, you start feeling some great emotions, and it feels that it might be that you don't deserve that emotion, it feels uncomfortable, it feels real, why I'm feeling those emotions, and you want to go back to emotional home, and will sabotage great feelings because those great feelings that you experience is as unfamiliar. You never experienced it before. You never felt this great of the feeling. You start to believe that maybe I don't understand what's going on and I don't feel something's right. Even though that emotion is great, but it feels that it's not right. And a lot of times we need to say that that's exactly what it's supposed to feel this way. I'm supposed to feel uncomfortable. I'm supposed to feel uncomfortable when I'm feeling great. Now, we will feel uncomfortable and feel great only when your emotional home was negative. I could tell that majority of my childhood, I used to live in a negative emotion. And I start to attach that negative emotion to my baseline. And I needed to change that. And how I did it, I built and changed my emotional state, emotional home based on gratefulness. Did I change it altogether? No. But did it improve? Yes. And I was thinking that every single person is able to improve, and every single person able to change. And that's why I'm so passionate about gratefulness, because gratefulness is allowing you to change your state. It's allowing you to change your emotional state, allowing you to change your emotional home. I really love what Ed Milet shared, that when you have an amazing experience, don't waste it. Don't waste it. To anchor that amazing emotion and make that amazing emotion your emotional home. So that means when something happens in your life, when you're going through setbacks, when you're going through experiences, when you're going through a lot of different things, you're able to say, okay, I know my anchor. Let's go back to my original state. Let's go to emotional state that really is, I feel like home. Because your emotional state, your emotional home will dictate how successful you are. Because when you going through setback and you're able to trigger back to a positive emotion, back to emotional, great emotional attitude, will change everything for you. Because the emotional state, emotional home will dictate what kind of action you take, especially at the beginning, because self-discipline is a key. Being able to consistent and do the same action over and over again. And what you need to do the same thing over and over again, amazing discipline, systems and processes, or emotional home and state that allows you to perform the same duty on a consistent basis. So when I think about really that childhood and that early age and then building that emotional home, we need to question it and say that I willing to change it, of course. Now, if you were living in that emotional home for 15, 20, 30 years, of course you understand it will not be changing immediately. There's so much baggage that occurred. So it means you will need to really move slowly out of it. Because you need to start catching that you are going back to your emotional home that you do not like, that doesn't serve you. And so like, okay, I feel that I'm going back to my trigger. I'm going back to that old emotional home. I need to be aware of that, because when you get aware that you are going back to your emotional home and you want to feel familiar with your emotions, because a lot of times when you feel uncomfortable, unfamiliar emotions, at that moment, what you want to do, you want to go back home. You want to feel those emotions that you have used to. Because I remember that when I used to feel at the beginning like great emotions, what I used to do, I feel uncomfortable, so I used to start listening sad songs to really bring back myself to a little bit sadder, a little more depressed emotion, because I want you to feel comfortable, familiar again. And of course, that's sad because I sabotage my great emotion. I sabotage ability to anchor my great emotion. It's such a powerful thing that we are able to really work very hard and make our emotional home different and base and decide. So that means when you think about all the emotions that are negative and positive, we're able to say, what kind of emotions do you want to feel on a consistent basis? What kind of emotions do you want to feel on a consistent basis? Every single person is able to choose. Do you want to feel negative and sad, or do you want to feel blissful and joyful and fulfilled? So when you know exactly what kind of emotions you want to feel and what kind of emotions you want to make emotional home, so when triggered, go back into that emotion, grateful, appreciative, blissful, joyful. So that means that we're able to say, what do I need to do? What do I need to be? And how I could really create more of those joyful emotions into my life. They could start triggering more and more and more and more joy and fulfillment and contentment in my life. So it means when you're able to visualize yourself feeling those emotions, that means that you are able to start saying that I want to attract that emotion into my life. Start feeling that emotion. Go into life, experience the emotion. And I truly believe that there will be more actions that will really allow you to feel that emotion. Like emotions is one thing that sometimes you're able to act into emotion. And a lot of times you're able to feel into emotion. Now, I'm a big believer that you need to act into emotion. But sometimes from the positive side, you're able to feel into action as well. Now, I understand that when you want to succeed in life, you're not supposed to wait for a feeling to come in. Because people say, I'm just waiting until I will feel motivated to start action, to take action. If you will wait until your motivation kicks in to really do something about it, you will wait for the rest of your life. And you'll waste your time. So I truly believe that we're able to say now, okay, what feeling I want to feel, and start feeling that emotion that you can feel yourself to action. So you're able to decide what emotion you will feel now, and then of course or you can ask like, what kind of action do I need to do to start feeling it? That is very, very powerful. So what kind of action do you need to do to start feeling the emotion and go and pursue and do this action? So that means you are able to be proactive and be intentional about really designing and creating those emotions. And now you go after those actions, you do those actions on a consistent basis, and you start feeling those emotions. I said, that's exactly what I want to feel. This is exactly what I want to have my emotional home. And when something gets in your life triggered, you go back to that emotion state. And that at moment, that emotions, home is benefiting your life. It's helping you. Because success is not easy. Because success requires you consistently doing the same thing over and over again. Success doesn't care how bad your day is, doesn't care how, what is going on in your life. Success do not care about your failures. Success do not care about your circumstances. Success cares only about what you're able to do on a consistent basis. And when you're able to trigger yourself in an emotional state like this, in an emotional home like this, and you're able to start feeling grateful, feel fulfilled, content, joyful, and you have an amazing attitude, it's so much more easy to do the things that is right for yourself, for your family, for the future you. So I hope that you will reflect as well. What is your emotional home? What kind of emotions or feelings is comfortable and familiar? Or maybe what kind of emotions you never felt before? And what kind of emotions you would love to really experience? I think that one of the things that's beautiful about emotions is that, like I think, like you're able to really experience like new things. Like you're able to experience new food and say, "Oh, I love this food." Exactly the same with experiences and with feelings and emotions. So you're able to say, "What kind of emotion I would love to try?" And go and experience it and find a way how you can find the way how you can experience that emotion, trigger that emotion, and really experience fully. And allow yourself to feel unfamiliar, allow yourself to feel uncomfortable with that emotion. Because as I said at the beginning, that it might be that you experience an amazing emotion, but you feel unfamiliar. And because you feel unfamiliar, you get scared of that emotion. What's going on? Why I feel this emotion? That maybe this is wrong emotion. No, this is a great emotion. You need to capture the emotion, remember this emotion, note, journal it, and keep it with yourself. Don't waste amazing emotion, and don't go back to emotional home that is negative. Really trigger that positive emotion. So I hope you reflect and really make sure that I need to work on it. I hope that you will work on it as well to make sure that your emotional home is only positive. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.